Welcome back. I am here with the president of the University of Indianapolis, Dr. Tanuja Singh. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing great on this beautiful chilly morning. How about you?
Good. We were just talking about how it was a really chilly morning. It's snowing outside. Okay, so kind of wanted to start off with, you're the president of the University of Indianapolis. What is the role of the president? Just like, what do you do on a daily basis? Can you kind of give us a run through?
Well, thank you for the question and thank you for the invitation. The role of the president is really to help set the vision, to think about where the university is today, where the university is going tomorrow, and work with the community, the faculty, the staff, the student, and the larger community about how we might realize the vision. So that's one part of it. The other part, of course, is creating the alliances, the resources, making sure that people, students and faculty have the resources to be able to execute on this vision. There's a lot of work involved in what I call friend-raising and fundraising. You do a lot of that. You have the ability to also talk about the great things that the university does. So essentially being a university's representative to the external community, to be the motivator, to be the person that sets the vision for the university. That's part of it. And then working very, very closely with your leadership team, with all the faculty, with all the staff, with all the students and the larger community. That's a very generic overall view, but that's primarily what a president does.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then, so there hasn't been a woman president, we were just talking about this, since 2012, I believe, and there was only one other woman president. So can you talk about kind of being the second woman president, how is that impacting you? How does, you think that makes other women on campus feel?
So, well, that's another great question. So if you look at higher education in general, there are not too many female presidents. It's changing a little bit, but there are not too many women who are presidents. So to me, even my role in leadership began with looking at why there should be women role models. Because when I was a faculty, I didn't see anybody that looked like me in leadership roles. There were a lot of other faculty, but there were nobody that looked like me. So for me, the fact that I'm a female president hopefully motivates other women to take leadership roles. It's changing the attitude towards women. Look at you, you are interviewing me, so it's changing a lot, and I'm very pleased about that. The business world is very ready to ask these questions as well. So it's not different, but it is different, if that makes sense. Because you are also a role model for a lot of people. You are probably reviewed a little differently, probably judged a little differently. But to me, it is really exciting to be the person that invites other people, not just women, but women of color, people who look like me, people who might be motivated by what I do to consider this role. So it's an exciting opportunity, and we have a long way to go.
No, and it is very empowering. As soon as I heard that you were being our new president, it's just very exciting to see women in that role, and it's very inspiring to someone like me who is here interviewing you. So thank you very much for that.
I am delighted to do that.
UND was certainly not without its challenges when the offer was made for you to become president. What got you excited to lead UND and overcome those challenges?
So, UND is facing challenges that are not different from what other universities are going through. The demographics of this country are changing quite a bit. So if you look at, there are fewer people being born in this country. So obviously fewer students are going to college. So those kinds of challenges are very real. The reality, though, is that UND is located in a great city. It's an urban environment. Indianapolis and Indiana is growing tremendously. And when it's growing is a lot of people, back in the day, you graduated from college, you went and did your job, and then you retired after 40 years. That's no longer the case. People are needing to reskill, they're needing to upskill, they're needing to come back to a university and get another degree. And that is a market that the companies here and the organizations in Indianapolis have been telling me they need a lot of help with. And that's where we fill that gap of reskilling and upskilling and helping people develop an attitude of lifelong learning. And that opportunity, so rather than the challenge, I'm looking at it also as an opportunity, because the traditional model of education is changing very rapidly, And we have excellent programs. We have excellent faculty. So if you look at what is getting people excited about coming to UINDY, you came to UINDY because of the quality of programming that we offer. We have it across the campus, across the spectrum. And to me, good programs, great faculty, great resources, and a great city inspired me to take this job. And of course, we have an amazing board that convinced me that this was the right opportunity for me at the right time. So very excited about the opportunities.
Yeah. So kind of playing into that, you talk so positively about the university, and it makes me so happy since I go here, and I've wanted to go here since I was in high school. Did you have any apprehension when coming here because of the state of the university? Well, what it was in before you got here?
That was not a problem at all. Because as I said, there are universities across the country that are going through similar challenges. What I saw were opportunities. In terms of apprehension, you are in a new place, right? A new town. And you always think, well, how would I fit in? Would I like the town? And let me tell you, this is an amazing city with an amazing community. The people I have met here are quite possibly some of the most welcoming people I have ever met. So that part in the beginning was a little, how am I going to get used to the city? But it has been a very, very smooth transition. The cold is, of course, a whole different issue. We'll talk about that.
The cold is different, of course. So with, changing the university, just making it a better place, a part of your role is fundraising, and we've seen a number of new fundraisers and partnerships get announced this semester. How much of that is your influence versus advancement or Fanatic alumni? Mm-hmm.
So fundraising and friendraising is never a solitary venture. It is always a collective effort. Our faculty are very important because when people donate to the university, they do it because they've had an amazing experience at the university. People give to the university because they believe in the vision. So it is, while you may have seen more recent announcements, there is a collective effort that has been going on, and that will become even more prominent and more pronounced. But it is always the faculty, the staff, the alumni who look at what a great institution it is. So the advancement people, in my role, is to make sure that people know our stories, to share the narrative with other people. But fundraising is never a single solitary venture. It's you. I mean, when people are listening to this interview, they're talking about what an amazing group of students we have. So it's everybody, and I'm very glad that we are getting a lot of notice from our alumni and from other granting agencies for fundraising.
Which of these new gifts give you the most excitement?
There are lots of them. The Dahan gift I have to mention, because what it helps us do, we are a global university. There are students and faculty here from about 80 countries. And what this gift helps us do is to use those resources and make it an even more global campus, to give our students the opportunity to go study abroad, to take on experiences abroad. And while all of them are very, very exciting, this particular one to us, from an impact perspective that we will see immediately, is going to make a big difference to the university. All gifts are directed towards particular projects we have. And this one, the magnitude of it, the importance of a global campus, also the gift towards the Fine Arts Center, right? So two gifts. One goes to our international work, one goes towards the Fine Arts Center. That serves the community. We are a community-connected university, and the ability to provide programming to the larger Indiana community free of cost to them is really remarkable. So it helps us achieve our mission as a community-centered university, and I'm really excited about that gift.
I will mention I went to Crystal Dahan's high school, Crystal House Academy, which she founded. So it's kind of nice to see that influence also here at the University of Indianapolis.
Yeah, she was an amazing, amazing philanthropist and has done more for the university than you would think possible. She has been an amazing supporter.
Which is amazing to see. And kind of, we're talking about how remarkable UIND is and how amazing the campus and community and university is. And you have worked at schools previously. So what do you find unique about UIND, and what kind of pulled you here?
One of the things that I have found really I don't know if it's different, but it's very unique. When I speak to our alumni, it's not just, yeah, I went to UIndy. The story is always about, I went to UIndy and it transformed my life. The conversation is a lot more deep. I mean, people have stories to tell about particular faculty that they had for math, or particular faculty that they had for business or nursing. And they have these deep connections with faculty, whether they were in social work or education or any of the other areas. And that part is just very personal. The narrative is very whole. Let me tell you about when I went to UND or the games I attended. And that part is just the loyalty, but also the care and the pride in being a Greyhound is just really remarkable. And anytime you have a university that people care so much about, you have a good foundation to work with. And I was very impressed with that. It's just very uniquely UIndy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Every single time I talk to either professors that have gone here or I meet with alumni, because some of our students do get set up with alumni, so we are able to work in the real world. Everyone always talks very highly about the university, about all the programs, about the games, like you were saying, all of that. And speaking about games and things to do on campus, kind of a fun question, what are your favorite things to do on campus?
Oh, I think you've probably seen me at the football games. I also went to the basketball game in Bloomington, when we had the exhibition game. So I show up whenever I can. I'm quite involved. I also like to just walk around and talk to students. My favorite part is, stopping a student in the cafeteria and say, how's the food or how's the coffee? But on campus, I hope people realize we have a beautiful campus. Just the art on campus is gorgeous. You can walk into any corner. So one of my goals is to discover new pieces of art installations on campus. But just walking around campus, talking to students, going to as many games as possible on campus, those are the kinds of things that I really find very, very enjoyable.
So what we're learning today is that you're a big UND Sports fan.
Well, I am, of course. I absolutely, anytime. And I'm always following who's playing where and, cheering our teams on. They're just really great. And our students are really, while they're great athletes, they're equally good students. They are phenomenal students. If you look at the average GPA of all our teams, they're really strong students. So you come here to go to school and you are really good in sports. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what UND WOW is?
That's a great question. So it's an aspirational, it's not just a slogan. It is something we are committed to having that vision that when people graduate from here and when you come back and somebody says, hey, you're going to UND, you should be able to say, UND, wow. That to me is the kind of passion we want to create about this university. And I believe that the mission and the plans we have will help us get there. And that to me is not just a slogan, but it is something that we are working towards. And it should be a lived expression. UND WOW should be a lived expression.
What is your vision for the future of UND? What should students and faculty alike be excited about?
So one of the things we are working very diligently on is I always think about a university as being rooted and relevant. We are rooted in great values, right? We have great values of service. We are connected with the community. We also need to be relevant as the world changes. So there's an organization called the World Economic Forum, and they talk about how the skill sets are changing for people, how we need to prepare students for not just where the world is today, but where it's going tomorrow. So our goal should be that when students graduate from here, they're developing those fundamental skills that are almost discipline agnostic, if you will. So if you go here, you are solving complex problems. You are doing applied learning. You are able to work in teams. You are able to look at the future, where the world is going. And our goal is to work very closely with the business community, with the not-for-profit community, with government, with hospitals, to make sure that we are developing our students that would be working for these organizations and that they would have the skills and the foundational knowledge to be able to compete in that world. And that is one of the things that we are committed to doing. I'm already working along with my team with companies in the area, with government, with other organizations to make sure that we are preparing relevant and future-ready students. We are a life skills-based university.
Yeah, and as we talk as future students, before we go to break, I have one last question. Projections show that enrollment rates are dropping at most universities around the nation. How is UIndy prepared for this? What are we promoting, doing to get more students to enroll?
So great question again. You know, the demographics are changing, right? So you have fewer students going to colleges, but at the same time, there is people coming back to college when they have perhaps gotten an undergraduate degree, or they got a degree, a master's degree that was 12 years ago. So the concept that people are more and more interested in upskilling and reskilling and continuous learning is very great news for university. So while we may have traditional undergraduate student population that might decline or might stabilize, you have opportunities in graduate and reskilling and upskilling areas. The other part is there's a concept called open loop learning. So people may not want to come to university and say, hey, I want to get another degree, but they might want to come back and get a particular talent. So they might want to learn about, say, film production, or they might want to learn about, say, artificial intelligence, but they might not want to take a whole class. What we are preparing the university for is to be a very important part of this open loop learning, where you can come back and take a few courses, go back, come back, and get another degree. And that, for us, we need to respond in a way that the world wants us to respond. So that is the way in which we can offset this traditional decline, the predicted decline in the undergraduate enrollment.
Yeah. So if you're hearing that, we are trying to get more hounds at the University of Indianapolis. So if you're graduating, apply. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the president of the university, Dr. Tanuja Singh.
So the overall mission here at Flanner House Indy is to help with the development and growth, the self-efficiency and self-sufficiency of the near northwest side of Indianapolis. When the Double Eights closed in the area, that left the near northwest side a food desert. So Brandon Cosby, the executive director of Flanner House, started with the Flanner House Farms, where they grow fresh produce organically for the neighborhood around. And then later on down the line, Cleo's came about. So we're here to help with the sustainability of getting fresh food at cheap prices to the locals around. Black owned, black ran. That's the gist of Cleo's for the most part.
Welcome back to Good Morning Greyhounds. We are joined with President Tanuja Singh. So first coming back here, photos circulated of you at the swearing-in ceremony of Cynthia Carrasco to the state senate. What does Senator Carrasco's appointment mean for the university?
Well, first of all, we are very excited for her. This is really important to her as a servant leader. She has always wanted to serve the state of Indiana. So we were just lucky that we were able to hire her before she was ever elected senator. The second part is that we are part of that the mission of the university is to serve. She represents the area in which UND is located. So we now have a voice in Cindy Carrasco, where when important decisions are made, we have a voice that knows the university. She lives on the south side, so she's very familiar with what the challenges and opportunities are for the university. And having her being part of my cabinet, but as well as a senator, is really wonderful for the university because we now have a representation as well.
Okay, perfect. And then, sorry, I got off track a little bit. And I was listening to you. It's very interesting that, she worked here as like in the Senate now. And as we're talking about inspirational women, with you being on the show, it is very inspiring to now have someone that correlates with our community and can kind of go back and see, what the community needs, making that better with UIndy all around. So I kind of wanted to jump into students. So much happens in the university that is for us or good for us, and we just never notice it. You always hear students complaining on the UINDY app or wherever about, things that they maybe aren't educated on, and things that we take for granted. So can you kind of explain to us as students, what should we be excited about for the future? What is directly going to affect us in our daily lives here at the university?
So a lot of things. For me, as a university, we are, and we should be, almost singularly focused on student success. It's important that students come here, they graduate, and then they find whatever, if it's the job they're looking for, if it's graduate education, if it's something else they want to do. But our role is to prepare them for the future in which they will be. I have been very impressed with the resources and the quality of resources that UND offers. So if you want everything from preparing you for an interview to having access to internship opportunities, to being connected with the community, to study abroad, to service opportunities, we are absolutely committed to providing them with that, and we have a lot of them anyway. In fact, yesterday I met with one of our alums at a major company. She's in a senior position. She was telling me how one of the reasons she got the job was because she worked on an internship while she was a student, and that internship turned into a job. My hope for the university is that every single student, whether they're studying mathematics, whether they're studying communications, whether they're studying business, nursing, engineering, that while they are here, they are able to get these internships and be able to find a job. We also want to prepare, global citizens. My hope is that more and more of our students are taking advantage of these opportunities for international travel, study abroad, service opportunities internationally. And that is our vision for students, to make sure that when they graduate, the day they graduate, they're exactly where they had hoped they would be.
And kind of following that, how important is the Alumni Association, and how important is it that alumni are connected to UIndy?
Oh, it is absolutely, absolutely important. Whenever I meet with the alumni, I see, as I mentioned, their passion, their love, their loyalty to the university, and our alumni care deeply about the success of this university. Our goal is to make sure that more and more alumni get engaged with us. Please, if you're listening to this, please connect with us, because one of the ways we can tell the stories of the success of students of the university is through our alumni, and they're absolutely essential to us, and we are hoping to connect with more and more of them as we go forward.
Yes. I know that I've already connected with alumni, and it's honestly, in our program, it's been so helpful with getting internships and even interviewing for jobs and things like that, and just being taught from someone who, has that real world experience and can give me that advice in the world that we're living in today. So where do you feel UIndy excels in preparing students for the workforce of tomorrow? I know that we were talking about this before we got on this interview about, all of the applied learning that we get here, especially in our TV program. It's easy to go into interviews and internships already kind of knowing what we're supposed to do. I know you were talking about the business community here at UIndy, and just internships saying, they already know what they're supposed to do and they're already prepared. So what can you kind of give credit to that?
So one, we have faculty that are very, very good academically, but they also know the real world. So we have a lot of faculty that are at UND that have either worked in the government, or they worked in business, or they have been, they worked in an engineering firm, and they bring that knowledge to the classroom. So just recently I was in the engineering school, and I was watching our students work on real world projects for real companies. And the experience is coming to them because they have faculty that have this exceptional connection to what the world actually looks like. And that's true across the board. That's true in education, that's true in social work, that's true in nursing. I believe that part makes a UND student stand out. Look at the experience we are getting today. The conversation that we are having today would probably not be available to students in a lot of other universities. And that really differentiates the university in significant ways.
No, and you have a big point. We were, talking about how bigger schools, you don't have as much opportunity to really get hands-on experience. And you definitely wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to the president of the university. So it is very nice that with such a small, connected community, we can really have those things and prepare us for the real world. So
I'm really glad to hear that, yes.
My question is, how does UND function? So what's the dynamic like between you, the president, and the provost, the faculty senate, and the bottom line, the students?
Okay. You know, we are, as I said, a great community. I am very fortunate that I have an exceptionally strong team. You know, Provost Bluff, I don't know if you've met him. There are several of us that work together on a regular basis on some key areas. And the provost works very, very closely with the university. The role of the provost, as you know, is they are the academic head for a university. So all the academic decisions that are made about new program development, about making sure that faculty are appropriately recognized for their work, promotion and tenure, that's the provost's role. But we work very closely across the board with student success, with general counsel. So that is a very important role. Students and faculty to me are clearly, at the end of the day, everything we do is for our students. So whether it's me working through the faculty, whether it's me working through the faculty senate, we are a collective community. We are a very open and transparent community. We share our ambitions, we share our goals. I've been very impressed at how collaborative our community is, how wonderful our faculty are at UND. They really care deeply about the success of this institution.
Yes, and with this being such, you know, a powerful and close-knit institution, you were talking about earlier how you like to go to the games and, you know, you're involved in the community. So for you, what does it mean to be a Greyhound at UND?
Oh, I am just so proud to be a Greyhound. You should see all my Greyhound gear. It's all about community. You know, the fact that we can talk about life, the fact that we lift each other up, the fact that we care about each other, both as professionals and also as and their personal lives, is to me is being a Greyhound. Greyhound is all about being a community, and I am just very proud to be a Greyhound.
Today is coincidentally Giving Tuesday. This is your chance to pitch the university. Why should our viewers give to the university?
Well, I think if you've been listening to us for the past half hour, you have seen what a great impact your gift can make on our students. The experiences that our students have, experience like this wouldn't be possible had it not been for the amazing generosity of our alumni. Whether you want to impact the life of a single student or whether you want to impact the entire life of the university, your gift goes a long way in making UND what it is. So the focus on students, the focus on student success, the fact that we care so deeply about a university that is embedded in this city. I don't know of any other organization which is embedded so closely within Indianapolis that has the kind of impact that we do. So if you care about impact, if you care about the potential of this university, I would encourage all of you to give to the university. The types of students we serve from all walks of life, they come to us where they might be first gen, they might be Pell eligible, and the impact you're making on their lives is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you for supporting UINDY, and go Greyhounds.
Go Greyhounds.
Yes,
I know
indeed.
we're going to hear you saying that at the basketball games.
Yes.
Rollhounds?
Greyhounds.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to President Singh. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's been an amazing opportunity talking to you. Coming up, unfortunately, this marks the mid-season finale for Good Morning Greyhounds, but there will be more shows on the way in the new year. But tonight, don't forget to watch UND TV News at 6. As always, have a good day.